Hey there, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the Handmaid's Tale After Show. We're talking about episode 5, Seeds. So we have child brides, miscarriage, a colony wedding, and we're also going to talk about our Resist sister, which is Christina Aguilera and Demi Lovato, and a song they have. We're going to talk about that, and how Elisabeth Moss is taking control over what nudity is seen on the show. Stay tuned for all that.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Little girl.
Speaking of Christina Aguilera.
So this is the very song we're mentioning, but we'll get into more why it's important later on in the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, talking episode 5, Seeds. My name is Kari Lane and my awesome panel.
Hey, I'm Lesley Powers, everyone.
Hey everyone, Veronica Barriga here. Yes, I'm so excited about this, you guys. Lots to talk about. It was a roller coaster this time around.
Any quick, specific overall thoughts?
Well, I was saying I just binged all 5 episodes the past few days, so I'm living in a real dark place right now. And I just think there's a lot more to come, and I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Welcome to the panel, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, guys.
Glad to have you.
Girl
You
power.
binged all 5.
That'd be dark.
I'm still recovering from episode 5.
And it's a gloomy day in LA, so
Right?
It's like
I know,
driving
today is kinda
here,
weird.
I'm like, oh my god, am I gonna get taken? What's happening? Yeah, it's just living in that spot.
Yeah, I think this was the best episode this season yet.
I thought it was really good too.
Really good.
There was stuff that we'll get into why, but there was so much about it that stood out and
They're doing it right.
solidified. This is an excellent show, if we ever had any doubt.
Right,
But it's like,
right.
no.
Which we don't.
We do have a live chat on YouTube, so if you're watching this live, feel free to join us in that. If you're watching it later, please comment down below. Thank you so much, everybody who commented on last week's video and other videos as well. Love the discussion going because, we only have so much time to talk about it here. Great to continue the discussion with us afterwards. And thanks for reaching out on Twitter. We've had quite a few people do that, too. All right, beginning. We have June. And how broken is she?
Oh my god. Well, now I feel like she wants people to call her Offred in the beginning of this. I was waiting for her to correct everybody and say, my name is Offred, and just in this really creepy voice.
Yeah, she's going that direction.
The acting was pretty on point. I mean, it was a different side of Elisabeth Moss, of the character. You saw it in her eyes. You're like, oh man, she is on that other end. She's broken. She went there.
Yeah. So she retrieved the letters from the tub, which was so depressing. I'm like, no, but she doesn't burn them all.
No,
they're not all burned.
No, I think Nick grabbed
them.
That's later on.
Yes.
We're
Good
gonna know.
observation.
Yes.
She has quite a few. I don't know if you guys noticed, and viewers, if you all noticed, she has a lot of scenes in this episode where she almost looks up at camera.
Yes.
It's not at camera directly. It's just kind of off, but it felt like how blank she was.
And she can act with just her eyes in anything. I mean, seriously, it could just be the show would be like this, and you would know everything. She's an amazing actress.
I forget if it was an interview or whatnot, but she was talking about how, like, the camera is inches from her face at times.
She's like, don't look.
She hits the camera
with the
with
bonnet.
her bonnet. And then it breaks character. Yeah, it's absurd.
I love it. I hadn't heard that. That's awesome.
And we have Nick, who notices her brokenness, which is so sad.
He just can't do anything. I feel like he's like got his hands tied behind his back.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it's crazy to me.
I think it's amazing that he went to Serena. I mean, that could have gotten him in trouble. He's at the point where he's like, no, you need to help her, get her a mental doctor. I really appreciated him for that. That was good.
I'm glad he said something.
And I feel like every tiny step any of the characters make to like resist a little bit.
Yes.
It's like when are they going to get their judgment day? And I feel he did.
Well, speaking of judgment, though, we have Serena and Lydia during that exam, which such great power play moments between the two of them. Serena, like every time interjecting with the answers to the question, like, oh yeah, I totally have this under control.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you don't.
Her regular doctor can do a good job.
If you would just go away, Aunt Lydia. Yeah, that was interesting. A lot of times we're like, why do they pin the women against each other? But this fight, I'm all for this fight.
Aunt Lydia
Evil versus evil.
Yeah, Aunt Lydia just thinks she does no wrong. Like, she has no compass whatsoever.
No.
At all.
I love her line. She goes, have I let myself become a bother? Oh, yeah. You're like, oh, yes. But she also does notice that June is a little musty. As like, out of it.
Yeah,
but she doesn't
do anything. You need
anything.
to bathe twice a day now, apparently.
As if that does anything.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, does she even have soap in that bathtub? I feel like there's no soap.
There's soap by the sink.
Yes, I noticed that, but the
But
bathtub, I was
probably.
like, it's just
Same
water?
stuff, yeah.
This was interesting to me, this Aunt Lydia and Serena thing, because she was coming at her and she kept kind of saying, you got to be nice to her, you got to set the mood, you got to do
Right.
A, B, and C. But I feel like Aunt Lydia knew that she maybe cracked June a little bit too hard,
Yeah.
and was finding sort of a scapegoat in case something she was kind of like in the back of, I'm just making this up, but this is my theory, that in the back of Aunt Lydia's mind, she was kind of like, if something goes wrong, I want Serena to feel that this was her fault.
Yeah, and never
See?
Aunt Lydia's fault for showing her the dead guy hanging. And that didn't do anything.
So maybe
Putting
that's
blame
what that
on her?
was. Yeah.
Yeah, Lydia says they want a godly and harmonious environment in the
Oh,
home.
is that possible?
Not
They had
in
the
that home.
crackling fire. Was
Not
that
in
like
that
enough?
Yeah. Then on the way out, though, Commander and Lydia have a moment too, and that was a really interesting exchange. What did you think of it?
I think Joseph Fiennes is just like so subtle with his acting. I never know what he's thinking, because I feel like he's been emasculated a little bit in this episode by that guy, Mr. Price, that's in charge.
And I think it's Andrew.
Andrew.
Yes,
Yeah. So
Andrew.
I feel like he's feeling pressure from, higher above him. So it's just everything's like crackling, like he's going to break or something. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that was a great moment, because it's not, I don't think Aunt Lydia knows it's Nick's child, right?
No,
I
I don't think
okay.
she knows. I bet it's common enough that nobody speaks about it, but it happens,
sure,
because
sure.
it's like whatever
Yeah.
gets the job done.
Ignore the handmaid. Why not ignore the...
Yeah, well, she was kidnapped, quote unquote. So I think maybe they understand that it's we're not going to talk about it, but if you did something else, just don't say anything.
Yeah.
As long as you got a baby.
That was
all they
such
care
an
about.
awkward moment. Yeah, and then he had to like look at Nick, and it was, and then
that like hole in the gate, that shot was so cool.
Well, then the line where she's just like, oh, your baby's the size of a papaya. The look he gave her,
Yeah. What was that?
that was the weirdest look. Please leave a comment down below.
Yes.
What do you think it was? Because it was so bizarre. I don't know, like, if he liked the thought of it. I thought it was kind of a reference to luxuries that they don't have anymore. Because that's like a tropical fruit. Their grocery doesn't have it. So it's like talking of a bygone era. I don't know.
Interesting.
or blessed be the fruit.
Yes.
I
all
read
about the
something
fruit.
that they the different stages, because I guess they don't use ultrasounds, right? So the different
Avocado,
stages,
grape,
right? Yes,
papaya, grapefruit.
Yeah.
Well, while you're
Well,
eating
real people do it.
While you're eating your fruit, you should be listening
Oh.
to this awesome podcast. So if you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of life, for those who do, we have got the perfect podcast for you. Conversations with Maria Menounos. Podcast edition is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews, along with secrets and tips on how to be better in all aspects of life. I think the commander could use that for sure.
Yes.
From health and wellness to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister you've always wanted. Just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that it was us, the after show Handmaid's Tale, that sent you Conversations with Maria Menounos podcast edition. Check it out.
Yes,
All
yes.
I don't know that they get podcasts in Gilead, but
Right?
You
Oh,
never
they
know.
wish. It's the secret radio.
That would be
I-
great.
that's
The
what I think.
pirate radio, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, what does she do all day in that room? I was thinking, besides counting the
Knitting.
flowers on the
Oh,
bedspread.
wait. For June, yeah.
I'm like, what does she do all day?
Go insane.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clearly.
Well, speaking of people going
Yes.
insane, we have the women over at the colony.
Wow.
And how, we have women dying and just how bleak it is in the morning. They're like, oh, we only lost 2. And
Yeah, it's a good day.
It was, yeah, no, that was. Did you guys notice how it was parallel? Like people were dying at the colonies, and then they cut to the bleeding of the potential dying of the fetus. I don't know if I'm reading too deep
No,
into
you
it.
should. I'm sure they did that on purpose.
But I was just like, wait a minute, and then of course our first thought is, oh God, the baby's dying, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, I thought that was really cool how they cut that together.
Yeah, the colonies are messed up.
well, someone brought up,
So
and getting a little bit ahead, but I kind of was thinking about it. And what do we think? People on a previous video had commented, what do we think they're actually doing out there? I did notice the bins that looked like they had the hazardous waste sign on it. So it looked like they were possibly cleaning up hazardous waste. But if it's radioactive anything or any kind of chemical that intense, I don't
Yeah.
think just scooping it out's really going to solve the problem. So it's
Yeah.
like, what's
What
the
are
point?
they doing? I mean, besides burying dead women I don't.
Yes, that giant field.
I don't think there is a point. Yeah, to
Yeah,
it,
that's
right?
why I'm
It's
like, I
just
wonder if they're
that's
just
it.
digging
We
to
gotta
dig.
have them do something. Yeah, we gotta worry. Yeah, that way they can, their bodies can go quicker, I guess.
Yeah, would you go
The
to
wear
the
and tear.
colonies or would you go to the Jezebels?
It's just a threatening, yeah.
I feel like the Jezebels is looking pretty good at this moment in time.
Well, even the ants working
They have
there,
liquor
like,
there.
that's probably the, the shit job of, like,
Yeah.
you got demoted as an ant that you're
Totally.
supervising there, because even though they have protective gear, sort
Right.
of, I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to really protect you from that environment.
But I think whoever commented that I think there is maybe there either is no meaning to it or there's like a huge meaning
sure.
to it.
Clean up.
To
Mhm.
what they're cleaning
Sure.
up.
We have Emily and Janine, and poor little Janine. God holds me in the palm of his hand. And that's what Lydia says. And that's almost exactly how she says it. She seems so... Okay, so do we think she's an honest believer, or she is snapped and this is the thing, that she's an honest believer because then she can hold on to something?
I think there's still a little of Janine before this left. That this is probably what her upbringing was, or
Yeah.
her family. Because she seemed like she wanted a family. That's always been kind of her attitude. And then Emily's just losing teeth.
Yeah. But Janine is such a happy spirit. So she's almost like a child in a sense.
That's where I go. She's
Yeah.
almost crazy because she's too happy.
She's the baby
Yeah,
bird.
exactly.
It's like, I don't trust her.
This is gonna see the good in everything, even the good in the colonies, apparently.
Which is useful, though, because you
Yeah.
kind of need those people around as well.
Absolutely.
I think it's both of, like, she grew up with this, but she snapped, but this is the thing that's helping her stay sane.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those you have to validate your situation, otherwise you go
Right.
nuts, more so.
Yes.
Right.
Watching the women be intimate was actually really sweet, that they're not really giving them a hard time for it. We got
was
Kit and
sweet.
Fiona, which, even though they had a short run of it,
Yeah.
but
But I
I noticed they weren't
like.
like breaking them up, and they're kind
Yeah.
of like, okay, and they
Yeah.
weren't super secretive about it.
No, I thought they were like kind of nuzzling in front of
And I was
authorities.
like, aw, so
I
sweet.
love that moment. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool to watch.
It was sweet.
Emily points out, we come here, we work, we die. So then I'm like, so why not rebel? Because you're gonna die anyways.
Yes. Use those
Right?
shovels.
Yes.
Well, it might
and there's
now
more of them than there were overseers.
use those shovels.
Yeah, I mean, they have weapons
gonna,
in
like,
their hands
smack
every
'em.
day.
And I mean, there's
Yeah.
still the psychological prison of it, which I think we talked about before, is the idea of there's the parable of a baby elephant staked to the ground and is told it can't pull that out because it's so weak and strong. But as an elephant grows, it still won't pull out the stake because it thinks of it as
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think these people, that's why they don't rebel, because you're still stuck in that
Stockholm
cage.
Right.
syndrome.
Right. But now she has somebody who's moldable, because Emily's our strong force here. She is down
Oh,
for
yeah.
the cause. She's our resistance. Now she has Janine, who
Yep.
looks up to Emily. And so if you have one ally can lead to two, or
No,
three,
you're totally
four.
right.
So hopefully that happens.
totally right.
That'd be great.
And then for those of you on our YouTube, please go check out iTunes. We have a link in the description. Go rate, comment, and subscribe. Lets them know how awesome this show is, how much you love it. And, 1 through 4 don't work, so you may as well put 5. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the show, what other topics you're interested in, and we'd love to hear from you. And then if you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching as well. But yeah, hop over on iTunes. And then we come back. Oh, that was the moment you were talking about, Veronica, of, we cut back to June when she's on the toilet and we have the blood showing, but she doesn't say anything.
Nope. But I wondered about that because doesn't Rita do her laundry?
I
so I was
thought
like,
that
is
too.
she gonna hide her underwear? Because I was like,
that's a
someone's
good
got
She
to
could rinse
find
it
out.
before Rita gets
Yeah,
it.
she could
That was
rinse
my
it.
thought.
I thought that too, but God,
It would
was a
still
lot.
stain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was terrified, right? Because that was my thought too. Okay, because I don't know why.
I think she didn't care.
She didn't care. Okay.
I
She
couldn't
wanted it
decide.
to die.
I think she wanted it
Sure.
to die, but I also think that's
Sure.
her only way to like keep going and to keep having
Yeah.
days to plot to get out. So she's got to have it because that's the only thing keeping her safe, essentially. So
A little bit. But
But
then
I-
she later is like, you're strong, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think she was like, all right, maybe.
she's like, all right, you
Yeah.
last through this, and then
Well, she
we'll
wasn't
do it."
June yet at that moment.
Yeah, she was still Offred.
In all fairness,
Agreed.
yeah.
So what do we think of like Serena trying to be nice to her? They have the scene where they're walking together. She's kind of trying to be funny almost, like, oh, get those genetics from that nose.
Yeah.
felt so awkward.
It was, and then she's like, "Oh, that woman complains, takes every chance to complain about her
Yeah,
baby," which
Mrs.
I also
Putnam
think is
and Miss
interesting.
Scott.
I agree with that. Yeah. Well, it's so funny because you have these slight moments of humanizing Serena.
Yes.
Little bits, yes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Absolutely.
But she's a snake. She's a snake in the grass. Nothing is really for anyone else.
Yes.
So when
I think she would betray her husband at this point for that baby.
She has that side
Yeah.
comment too, talking down about him as well. We'll get to that too in a second. But she does ask June. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" So there's that.
Yeah.
She's like, "I need conversation. My husband doesn't say anything."
Exactly. There's that
Yeah, it
scene
was
where
more
she
for
sits
herself,
down.
exactly.
I feel she's bored. She has no one to talk to. Commander's only like, yes, dear, yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
be a great mom.
Like
Then it's over.
not listening. But
He didn't
he
give her
does
anything.
give the look with the newspaper when she's like, Nick is caring about her. He's like, what?
And that was such a girl move.
He was
Like,
like-
I want to make you jealous. Like, I'm not saying I endorse that type of thing, but
Wait, Serena doing it or the commander?
I think Serena,
yeah.
mentioning Nick is to like, because obviously when she was like excited to share the news, we
Yeah.
went on a walk, we did this, he couldn't care less. So she's like, well, you know who does care? Nick.
Yeah.
He cares, the
he
father
has-
of the baby.
Seed. Apparently, his seed works.
Yeah.
And your seed doesn't.
Yeah.
So
Ooh, yes.
burn.
Should,
Well,
yeah.
then Commander, even more, we were talking about Andrew, where he's trying to get the promotion for Nick, which I didn't remember his name because we only say Nick. So
Yeah.
it's Nick Blaine. And I'm like, Blaine? What?
Yeah, I
We never say his last
yeah,
name.
I was like, who?
Yeah. And then, but Commander's not up with his Bible verses, which was a fun moment of Andrew putting
love
him
that.
down.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
And in Andrew suggesting to keep Nick on, do we feel Andrew is part of the eye?
Oh, that's interesting. Andrew, I feel like we're gonna learn more.
I don't
about
know. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Someone that,
That
high
would be
up,
a
because it
wild
was
dream.
weird. Like, why? Why push the commander to keep Nick around unless he knew?
Because maybe he doesn't trust. Oh, right. Or he doesn't trust Nick.
But then
like-
you would move him away.
Yeah,
go
that's
somewhere
true.
else.
Yeah.
What do you
there's
guys
a-
think?
yeah,
Leave a comment.
There's a mind game happening with the
Oh, yeah.
commander and that guy for sure.
Oh, and then we got June in her little bloodbath and that reflection in the water.
So I'm a director,
Gross.
and that was like the coolest shot I've
Yes.
ever seen because I in the red, white, and blue colors almost. I was like, oh, America, what is happening? Like it was
Oh,
just such
wow.
a trip. It was a trip.
oh, that
It
was
was very cool.
beautiful and disgusting at the same time.
Yes, I'm like she's just
Poetic.
living,
Yeah.
living in her own.
I mean, it's
blood.
also, yeah, what's good though too, because this show has shown many things that just women deal with, and like women bleed. That's part of the process
Yes.
of life and everything. And so they're showing that, but sitting in a tub of, I don't know if I'd want to sit in that, but I think
No.
June's too far gone. Yes.
So,
we got
real,
chat
real,
stuff.
real quick,
Yeah.
some people in the chat bringing up some great points. So Sleek Eye Fresh said, I thought Andrew put Nick there to spy on the commander. That
Ooh,
yeah.
Read Mama Otters.
Okay, Mama Otter says Andrew is the eye. Remember from season 1.
Oh, it's so hard to remember all the details.
Thank you.
And there are people
yeah.
going crazy about this. Nick was placed there to watch the commander. Right.
Yep.
Andrew doesn't like how fake the commander is.
Thank you.
Oh.
So-
Well, then it's nice because
Yes.
this reinforces, because it's been a little while. That's like,
Yes.
hey, in case you forgot, because you picked that up to go, why
Yeah.
are you doing
Yeah,
that,
because we
Andrew?
were feeling it. We were feeling
Yeah.
the weirdness.
Yes.
So thank you, everybody. That was informative.
And then
That's
picking
sick.
up little things, Rita notices June's not doing so well. Of like, are you okay?
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
the whole world notices.
Are you gonna pass out?
Yeah,
'Cause you're
I was,
bleeding?
I was waiting for her too.
I love that she thought a piece of toilet paper was gonna like fix it.
Hey, that's all she got.
Hey, that's if that's all you got, you
That's all
know.
you
Poor
got.
thing. So sad.
Then we have
Spot
yeah,
bleeding.
the Prey Vaganza,
Oh my gosh.
which
Wow.
I like that Serena goes, well, that's not one of his better choices. And enough
Yeah.
that June could hear her.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, okay.
I think she used to be probably pretty cool in her when we saw her little clip of
Way
her
back
before.
when?
Yeah.
maybe.
Who, Serena?
From Serena. I think she
Yeah.
was yeah, she
like
was
your
a lot
tone.
better.
What?
I don't know if
Yeah.
cool is the word, but
Yeah, better.
better
She
than
was
she
better.
is
She
was
now.
better.
Yeah.
Then this is when we get to the time we're going to honor the Valiant Guardians. And Nick's up there. Oh, then we get our creepy child brides who are so young looking.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my goodness. And it's the wonderful arranged marriage with the creepy veils of like, good luck.
Yeah.
What a disgusting scene.
It was like the Russian roulette up there. And I also love that Nick opened his box and we had no idea what was in
But
there
he
for
gave a
while.
look.
He did, and he was like, oh, I'm
He's
so
like,
screwed.
Do you think Nick knew that the brides were that young? Because he kind of looked shocked. Like, when he saw her, he was like, whoa.
I think it's common practice that they start them that young, because it's one of those, if this is that essentially primitive in the childbearing society kind of idea, as long as that girl got her period the first time, she's good to go. So you could have them as young as 10, 11, 12.
And reminiscent of real stuff that happens all over the world. Again, being relevant, Handmaid's Tale.
Absolutely.
In a very sad way,
They're probably, they look a little more like the 13 to 15 range, but they could be as
Preteens.
young. Yeah,
They
for
look
sure.
preteen.
I mean, at least Nick's younger, though, too, because some of these men were adult men getting these girls. And just like you said, there are plenty of people around the world that this still is a practice, that they're giant age gap against their will for those young ladies.
Yes.
And Nick looking up at June and her looking back at him.
I twitched. So she.
This was the moment. He's
She's
like,
anywhere, look anywhere, but
he's saying the
Nick.
vowels and looking at her. And I feel like he was looking at her like, come back to me, June. Snap out of it, Offred. Come back to me. And you just felt that energy.
Let's
and that
rebel.
was
Let's get
beautiful.
the F out of here. This
Yes.
is insane.
Oh, and the use of the silence when she starts clapping.
She was like, I can't do it.
And then she doesn't look at him as he walks by. When he
can't do
walks
it.
away. Yeah, no,
But
she's
Serena
like, I'm done.
is
That's the
happy.
final, like, snap for her, too. I think that's one of the other final ones, because that was something she had that was good in her life, and now it's like, not really anymore. Though he could still do stuff, just saying.
Yes.
Not as easily, but, you know.
No. But he definitely still loves her, and it was just so sad.
Oh, I
So
felt bad
sad
for
to
him,
see.
too.
The patriarchy isn't good for men either.
Exactly. It doesn't help him out. Jumping back to Janine and Emily, when she points out like the weeds, they're like excited about that, and they grow and they don't care whoever is looking. Janine kind of makes sense when she's like, well, God saved my life twice, and that's why she still believes in him, which is fine. But then, her moment when she's like, I want to change my wish when Kit gets carried off.
Yes.
You're like, oh,
Janine is a fragile little bird. And
Yep.
You know, they say the half is glass empty, the glass is half full or half empty. Well, Janine's glass is like totally full.
Yes.
It's like, so, you know.
What if Janine saves
like-
the day? Who knows? Like, what if...
Right?
What if she's like, you know, God saved my life twice. Maybe if I rebel, it's not going to matter. He's going to continue to save me. I don't know.
Okay, that's a good thought. I like that.
Emily, and Emily needs that optimism. Like, so we
Yeah,
get Emily
she
with
does.
the tooth falling out, which is bad
Poor
sign.
thing.
That means like, oh no.
That and the ear cutting, I was like, I'm going to throw up.
Yeah. Then they have the really kind of cute gathering, and apparently was Janine's idea. Like, why don't they just have
That's
a little
so sweet.
wedding?
Yes.
And Emily tells her, well, I'm trying to keep you alive, and you know, this is hell, and covering up with flowers doesn't change anything. And then Janine makes a good point. Well, at least we can die happy.
She makes a great point. I was like, I kept thinking about that because I was like, what? I mean, hopefully we are never in that situation or a similar situation, you know, where you feel like all is lost. But if you do, I mean, and there's no way out.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily, you know, what is it, like when you're not with reality, you're not delusional.
Yeah,
but
you're not like resigned to it necessarily.
right,
but
you're not delusional, but you're just trying to,
you're trying to survive at that point.
be at peace.
Yes. That's a good point. Be at peace.
So poor Kit dies, but at least they had their happiness before then. Janine kind of helps with the burial, which is interesting. And then there's how many graves, which you touched upon.
So many.
But then we get Emily kind of thinking. We get a moment seeing her thinking. And I'm like, oh, is this the start, the gears turning of like, all right, well, if I'm bound to die here anyways, may as well do something.
Do something, Emily. Do
I hope
something.
so, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so June... Oh, yeah, how much blood she had. Who thought it was going to be miscarriage? I was like, oh, it's a miscarriage.
Oh, hands down. I was like, what's next?
The minute even the spot bleeding,
Yeah,
not to get
I
all
was like,
graphic,
uh-oh.
but whatever. Yeah, even the spot bleeding, I was like, oh, baby's done. We're done.
I was like,
that's
are they
what I
going to
thought.
still try to impregnate her? Like, be like, okay, we'll give you 3 months and then discard her if she couldn't get pregnant. I didn't know. I was like thinking all these crazy thoughts
yeah.
of like, what happens to handmaids if they miscarry?
Right. Are they
That's a
in
good point.
trouble? Because obviously it's not, you know, something that, I mean, stress could bring
It's the will
that.
of God.
But yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, there it is.
Exactly. It's a blessing.
But though there's a very intriguing moment where she starts to walk out of the room. I'm like, is she gonna walk downstairs with all that blood on? That would be so exciting and cool.
Yeah.
And then she
nuts.
changes her mind and goes in. But I feel that's when she gave up.
I wondered, I was like, is she going to go tell Serena?
Yep.
Is she going to ask for help? And then I think she was just like, F these people.
Yeah,
They're not
she's
going to
like,
help
I'm
me.
done.
Nobody
How
can
did
help
she
me.
get out the window?
I know. Did she fall
I thought
out
the
it?
doors. I thought the windows were barred. or couldn't open.
I thought she jumped out the window and we were seeing her like trying to commit suicide. I didn't know what to think.
But I thought all the windows had bars on them enough that she couldn't open the windows anymore.
I hope that they'd tell us, because that was really bugging me.
Yeah, because in previous things I thought they had made it as suicide proof as possible. Or before, in her bad behavior, they had like shut the windows, like nailed them shut, or did some kind of bar.
Yeah.
If any of you noticed, please let us know, because I don't.
Please,
if anybody's
But
noticed in the chat,
could she have just walked out, or did they say for sure it was a window?
That's
'Cause
true.
I know we did assume. I assumed the same as well. Yeah, the window, but.
Yeah, because
she could have walked outside.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last little bits, we get the young bride and Serena, and she's from a small town, and expect when you lay with him. But go Serena going, both of you can enjoy it. It can be both wonderful.
That was a small moment for
little flicker. And then the commander and Nick, the Gilead values family, and that was a creepy power play. Mm-hmm. And then he finds June. And then... Oh, that was it. June's alive, and then tells the baby, "You're tough." And then kind of got a weird security guy watching her too, which was weird.
Which is why she went under the covers and
yes. Yeah. And then she says, "I won't let you grow up in this place. They do not own you, and then I'm gonna get you out of here." She has renewed purpose. Thank goodness. Oh my goodness.
June.
I'm so happy. Go June.
June is back. But I wanted to say something real quick about what did you touch on? You said about Serena with
telling the young bride, Miss Spencer,
Yes.
Miss Blaine, Mrs. Blaine now.
Okay, a snake in the grass. Like, why? I thought, my thought was, she wants the girl to enjoy
it would
sex.
lead Nick away.
Yes, you see?
This is true. This is
Snakes
true.
in the
Take 'em
grass.
away. Take 'em away.
My first thought was with you, though. Is like, she's being nice. She wants to, I don't know, let a female enjoy sex because she can't.
Yeah.
But no,
everyone
never.
means something else.
Never. Not in this world. Nobody's watching out for you. Sorry.
No. That covers up this episode. Then Lesley, you have some news.
Yes. So there was several articles that.
We have a news
Sorry,
segment.
they have to intro me.
News, yes.
News. So Elisabeth Moss talked to several outlets and yesterday actually, and said that she has approval over all of her nude scenes and all of her sex scenes, and she feels that every female actress should do the same, because if it goes on TV and you have no idea what which cut made it or which angle made it, and it's something that it's your body, and that's what the show represents. Is they don't get choices in the show, but we have choices as women. Hopefully more are coming. So I thought that was super cool. And there's a lot of people on Twitter saying they are equally addicted and equally traumatized from The Handmaid's Tale.
Ditto.
And they would really like to have a support group. So if anyone has a Handmaid's Tale support group out there, we would all love to join.
We are your support group.
Yeah.
I think that's great that she's doing that for the nudity, especially like she's the star. She should definitely have like the power over what gets seen, and there are ways to tastefully do nudity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And she should
To
be
be
part of that
artistic.
discussion.
It's
yes.
an artistic show.
And
Exactly.
it sets a precedent for other actresses to demand the same, and so it really does help kind of shape the industry. So I appreciate her doing that.
And then Veronica, you were talking about. You're going to tell us about our Resist sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
we got
actually
sisters
have
this week.
sisters. Yes, we have two Resist plural sisters of the week. This is going out to Christina Aguilera and Demi Lovato, because they had their performance of Christina Aguilera's song "Fall in Line." They performed it on the Billboard Music Awards last night, but there's something so special about this song. It's a girl power anthem, and I just wanted to read a couple of the lyrics because it's just like it kind of goes with this show. So it says, listen closely, because no one told me, but you deserve to know that in this world you are not beholden. You do not owe them your body and your soul.
June.
Nice. Preach.
Mic drop. And it's like a message to little girls. And so I love it when people use their voices, to empower everyone, especially, pop stars that so many little girls look up to, and even adults, follow them as well.
And then, do we have any other interesting shout-outs from the chat of anybody chiming in with some good theories and comments from the show?
Well, someone did say, is it Lita Quiros?
Yeah.
Said, I thought she fell because there's no way even broken she would think she would have to kill herself in that short height. Like she wouldn't have died. So
right.
I agree with you. I think she maybe just walked outside and then passed out from the blood.
Oh, and Mama
Yeah.
Otter says on the window, Aunt Lydia wanted it open. Oh, ventilation.
Oh, good
noticing.
Mama Otter,
Mama Otter,
good
you are on
observation.
it. Yes.
And then anybody else before we move on to predictions?
Oh, just I don't know how to say this. It says,
Give us your best shot.
A gullible girl.
A gullible girl.
Because it's all together.
The whole thing together. Says, hell yeah, Serena has a new little protege. So I think that's a good point to make, is that she's grooming.
Yes.
Like this.
That might be good though for Serena to have like a friend.
She can't. Yeah, she was not
Then
your
maybe
friend.
then she. Exactly. June is
Someone
not
to
her friend.
control.
But,
She
yes.
has more people to control.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for all the fans chiming in. And then please leave comments if you're not watching this live. No problem. And then let's get into our predictions.
Ooh.
We got our.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
How quickly do we think June is going to try to escape?
I think it's coming, and I think someone's going to help her, and I just don't know who.
Right.
And my other big prediction is that are we going to see June's mother at any point in the colonies, or is she already dead?
Oh, wow.
Because we haven't.
Yeah.
It was mentioned she was there,
Oh,
but
how
we
long
don't.
was she? Yeah, we don't know
don't
when
know.
she, what the timeline on that was.
Yeah.
Or
and that-
even, you know, depending on how much she was exposed to any of the chemicals there, if she's alive. Because maybe it's only 5 years, 10 years, and she could age-wise be
Yeah.
okay, but living in that environment.
Because how much time has passed? I don't even know at this point.
It-
It hasn't been crazy long time.
I think it's been
No.
about 3 to 5 years.
You think she's been?
Ooh, then they said something like people only
They
last
said
11
that-
months, right? At the
Yeah.
colonies.
I
They
think we
mentioned in
said
passing.
it somewhere in season 1, and then they say it vaguely in the book. But the problem is June has no sense of time, so it's a little hard
Yes.
to keep. I mean, she's
I'm
pregnant
curious.
this one time, so that's like about a year, almost. Not quite.
Right.
Yeah, go 3 to 5.
Yeah.
Please leave
Somebody
your comments
co-
down
yeah,
below if
somebody
you
comment.
notice.
Mama Otter, where are you?
Because some of it, it's like they say it, and then it's like, wait, what was it? A sense? Because it feels,
can be hard
to
to
us,
follow.
it feels a
Yeah.
little more immediate, but
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this has been a long time.
Yeah, because how long was, Moira and the
Yeah.
Jezebels? And,
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Veronica, do you have any predictions?
I predict a revolution.
Oh, please. I hope so.
Well, the way she was talking to that baby was like, there is no turning back, you know? And I just wanted to quickly touch on the name of the episode was Seeds,
Yes.
right? So there's it came from a Greek poet, but Mexican proverb that this revolutionary group said, they kind of reworded it, and it said, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds.
Ooh, that's good.
Yes, and so that is a revolutionary force in
Yes.
Mexico that fights against the government that is still around today, the Zapatistas. But it just reminded me so much of The Handmaid's Tale. And she said something earlier in season 1: if they didn't want us to be an army, they shouldn't have dressed us in uniforms.
Yes.
And so
Oh, I
I'm
love
just
that.
ready for I'm ready for her and Nick to kind of align again and see how far we can get.
Yes.
I think the colony is going to have their revolution first.
Sure.
Though those people are very weak, I think as long as they get the inspiration,
Yeah.
they would fight.
Sure.
The problem is, I think in Gilead proper, it's a little too organized to do a full-scale
Sure, of
rebellion.
course, of course.
But I'm hoping whoever helped June the first time would be willing to do it again, because it'd be like, we already tried, and you
Yeah.
kind of effed it up. Because she still went to the place, even though the safe house wasn't good, and
Poor
she should have done something else. But
And then that guy
I'm
died.
glad she has the fervor and excitement back again, and I think she's going to try. So I'm glad. Good.
Go, June, go.
Yes. All right. That wraps up our episode. Thank you
Yes.
so much for watching, chiming in, and leaving your comments, joining us in the chat. It's a pleasure talking about the show. It's very exciting. And let's go down the line, Veronica. Where can people find you to keep chatting?
Yes, guys, you can find me on Twitter, find me on Instagram, all over. It's Veronica B Online.
Awesome.
And then, where
You can
they
find me on Twitter at Lesley Powers 15 or on Instagram at LM Powers 15.
I'm so glad to have you on the show.
girls.
Yes.
I feel the girl power.
Yay! My
it.
name is Kari Lane. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.